What's an addiction that no one takes seriously enough? Solitude is dangerous. It's very addictive. It becomes a habit after you realize how peaceful and calm it is. It's like you don't want to deal with people anymore because they drain your energy. Jim Carrey. Attention, and it can manifest in so many ways: social media, causing issues in school, causing chaos, etc. Energy drinks. Man, I don't know why I'm so low on energy today. I think I need another Red Bull. No, you need fucking water. Self-deprecation. It starts as just jokes to break the ice in social situations. Then it becomes a form of sarcasm ingrained into your everyday speech. Then it becomes a true depiction of how you see yourself, and it spirals into depression. Social media addiction. I think eventually we will find out that social media contributes to mental illness someday. Alcohol dependency. People only think being a full-blown alcoholic is an issue. The millions who can't go a day without booze, yet are functional and whose lives would be 10x better without it, are the real issue. Chapstick. There's 994 comments, so not sure if has been said. But my lips will never let me give up chapstick until I die. Skin picking. My index, thumb and middle fingers are permanently destroyed, and all my parent says is, "You've got to stop." Yeah, no, I can't. Work. So many of my friends in their late 20s work themselves to exhaustion, go out for drinks and talk about work for 3 hours, get called in early to work the next day, and kiss the boss's ass on their days off. In someone with ADHD, dopamine. It's easy to become addicted to social media, gaming, gambling, sex, attention, drugs, alcohol and all of the other addictions. Because the real problem is you're just trying to get access to a normal amount of dopamine. Marijuana. I know it's not as bad as other drugs, but if you're seriously going to look me in the eye and say it's not addictive when you wake and bake 24/7. Winning arguments. Or at least the other person giving up. I know a guy that will argue with anyone over anything, with the sole intention of making them give up in disgust. Caffeine. Mainly in the form of coffee. If it's energy drinks, it's suddenly much more of an issue, but people take pride in not functioning without their morning coffee. The amount of shirts, cups and home decors saying stuff like "Don't talk to me before my coffee" or "But first, coffee" baffles me. If you can't function without it, you're addicted, Helen. Recently. Alcohol. You can be slamming back a 6-pack every day after work, wine mom drinking out of a flask at soccer games and baby showers, 10 a.m. Sunday mimosas, and no one bats an eye as long as you're functioning and you turn it into a joke. Unless you're pissing yourself drooling in a corner at 8 a.m. every morning, no one even thinks alcoholism. Sleep aids like ZZZ Quill. I've always had sleeping issues. Turns out long-term use can possibly bring on dementia and Alzheimer's. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has found a connection between frequent and long-term use of drugs containing diphenhydramine and the risk of developing dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, especially in older adults who abuse this medication. I'm horrified because Alzheimer's runs in my family. Shopping. People think I just like nice shit, but they don't realize I literally can't stop, and it's ruined relationships, but I don't know how to quit. The dopamine is real. I saw nobody say this, so I am gonna say it. Sadness. Might seem like a weird thing, but a lot of people are addicted to making themselves sad or make themselves feel pain. This will sound weird, but winning. People nowadays need to feel like they are the victors of everything. If someone has an opinion that differs from yours, that is not okay. You need to convince them they're wrong and you're right. Nicotine, can't go one day without it, and if I don't have it I drink and eat food excessively just to fight the cravings. TV. I swear parents will yell at their children to get off video games and get mad at their kids because they have an addiction to video games, yet they are the ones watching TV 12 hours straight and try to claim it's somehow different. There's a lot that aren't taken seriously, or are looked down upon because of the stigma around it. Food. Gambling. Sex. Even legal narcotics are looked down upon. But illegal narcotics aren't seen as what they often are, which is a way to avoid dealing with something in one's past. Much the same can be said about alcoholism. Addiction to love, especially in toxic relationships. The needing, the longing, the desperation, the codependency. The rage, the lust, the jealousy. Man, I've seen nobody mention cocaine, and I've been watching that harm a few lives lately. Socially acceptable amongst the moderately wealthy, but usually an all or nothing kind of drug that people absolutely will gargle trouser meat for. Anger. It releases serotonin. It's cathartic. Easy to become a dominant response in many social situations. Work. I show up early every day, at least an hour, stay late if possible, and try to work weekends constantly, without extra pay. Not trying to kiss ass or look good to the boss man, I just genuinely like working. Or rather need to work. Exercise addiction. I've seen numerous coke heads, anger management cases, eating disorder cases, and alcoholics turn to exercise to help them with their other issues. Sure, exercise is a great outlet, but when you spend 6 hours a day in the gym because you are angry all the time, or want to just lose / gain 1 more, or just don't want to deal with your issues in a constructive way, then it's a problem. Weed. People worship it and make it their personality and refuse to believe it's an addiction. The quest by wealthy people to increase their wealth without limit, using every dirty trick in the book. It's more than an addiction, it's a serious mental illness. Unfortunately, those who have it own and control the world. Casual alcoholism. People notice severe alcoholism, where they are obviously drunk in broad daylight, but the number of people I see who are just casually drinking at noon, or drinking tons of mimosas at 9 a.m., or make their entire personality about alcohol, are way too into alcohol for it to be healthy. Staying up late for no apparent reason. It's taking a serious toll on my mental health, and yet I can't seem to stop. Maybe my circadian rhythm is fucked, but it seems like I do this completely by choice. Porn 100%. It's available for everyone with internet access for free and can be stumbled upon accidentally on several platforms, so it's super easy for young, impressionable people to be exposed to it. And once you start, it's hard to stop without someone to help keep you accountable. It's easy to get into, it's legal, and it's everywhere. Porn. Not knocking it, but for some folks it can become quite problematic. And so much shame for those needing help but too embarrassed to seek it. Makes me sad. Being too healthy. Being too healthy is actually unhealthy. There are people that are so used to getting their 10,000 steps a day that they will disregard the rest that their body needs just to reach that daily milestone. Food. There were barely any support groups or rehabilitation services when my friend needed them. Porn addiction. My husband is addicted to it, and I wish I knew before we got together and had kids.